Good evening, everyone. I think we're ready to get started. We have a quorum. Welcome this evening. I call this March 18th, 2026 meeting of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to order. And I would like to welcome Gwen Baldwin to the dais, a new member from the Los Ranchos Board of Trustees. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be a participant. Thank you.
Thanks. And I want to read into the record that notice is hereby given that the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority met at 4 p.m. this afternoon for a closed meeting to discuss pending litigation proceedings. The meeting was held in the City Council Committee Room. The matters discussed in the closed meeting were limited only to those specified in the notice. And I need a motion and a second to approve this statement to be included as part of the minutes and go into open session.
Motion to approve.
It's been moved, and I second that. We don't need to do roll call votes because we don't have anyone virtually. Is that correct? So we just do all those in favor? Aye. Thank you, and that passes. Thank you. We're in open session. We will have a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Frank Baca.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Baca. Item 3, approval of the minutes. I make a motion to approve February 4th, 2026 minutes.
Second.
Is there a second? Second? All those in favor? Aye?
Yes.
Yes.
That passes. Thank you. Item 4, proclamations and awards. There are none tonight. And so we'll move on to item 5, public comment. Mrs. Salas, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
Madam Chair, we have one online, Elaine Hebard. Go ahead, Elaine.
Welcome, Ms.
Our
Hubbard. You have
region-
3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Our region is facing dire water circumstances again this year. It continues to be extremely dry, coming on top of a dry last year. Snowpack in the upper basin is dismal, with snowmelt expected to end before the end of April, and the Rio Grande is expected to go dry again through Albuquerque. Given the compact depth to the lower basin, to which we added a little bit more, no storage is available even if there was decent snowpack. And like today, this year we're likely to be warmer. The water utility is not immune. Rather than continuing to declare there is no drought because the metrics don't indicate one, I suggest that the metrics need to be upgraded. Conservation, reducing the per capita usage, is one way to reduce the needed depletions, or needed to reduce depletions. The utility uses a metric, GPCD, or gallons per capita per day, to track usage. It's sort of crude. It just lumps all of uses together and all population estimates. But the AMI gives you the possibility of changing that and making those metrics more robust. In my written comments, I have made specific suggestions, ending with the idea of developing long-term urban water use efficiency standards. Action is needed now. According to the memo with the objectives, it says that they are policy directives set by the Water Utility Board, and that they often include reducing per capita water use, increasing reclaimed water usage, and protecting aquifer levels. Those have been removed. My suggestion is they be put back. So summarizing, include in the objective specific recommendations to reduce depletions and for the MRG to work together, make specific suggestions to improve the metrics currently used to declare drought, use the community conversations this year to discuss the metrics as well as the new plan, and delay objective 113 to update the plan by the end of the second quarter to at least the end of the fourth quarter. And meanwhile, develop and adopt long-term urban use water efficiency standards. I would also like to suggest that there be a portal for written comments as well as oral ones for these board meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hibbard. There are no other public commenters on the list, so we'll move on to item 7, introduction of legislation. And there will be no vote on these items until the next meeting. First, we have R 2610, establishing one-year objectives for the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority fiscal year 2027 to meet goals. Susan Lander, welcome.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm here presenting for introduction our fiscal year 2027 one-year objectives. Starting off, this first slide illustrates our strategic planning, budgeting, and improvement process, and how the one-year objectives fit into this whole process. One of the objectives are just one of many tools that we use for strategic planning and developing the budget. And the process incorporates feedback from internal sources, which include the one-year objectives, the performance plan, the employee performance expectations, and the budget. And then we also use information developed from external sources. We take part in the AWWA Utility Benchmarking Survey and also the EPA's Effective Utility Management Program. And last but definitely not least is we also take into account public input. And we have our customer opinion survey, which is done biannually. We have the Technical Customer Advisory Committee, which meets monthly. And then we also have the annual customer conversations. So the Water Authority has 5 business goals, and these goals are based on the AWWA business model for a typical water wastewater utility. And the goals are formed around 5 business systems. We have water supply and operations, wastewater collection and operations, customer relations, business planning and management, and organizational development. And here you can see there's definitions of the goals, and I am not going to read those. So this is another illustration of our strategic planning and business goals process. Overriding everything is the Water Authority's mission. And in order to obtain and work towards our mission, we have our 5 business goals. And in order to meet the goals, we have our strategic planning processes, which are like our performance plan, the effective utility management, the benchmarking survey, and our one-year objectives, and then also our budgeting process, which will be the FY27 budget and the FY27 to 36 decade plan, which we'll be presenting to you all next month. And then we also have department KPIs, key performance indicators. So our one-year objectives are categorized into each of the 5 business system goals. These objectives are related to completing projects or improving programs. They help identify, or if we've identified performance gaps during the budget process, the objective allows us to allocate and prioritize resources to help identify and close those gaps. And they also help develop improvement processes so we can be more efficient and effective in our operations and our service delivery. So what I'm going to present I have one example from each of our 5 goal areas. So I'll have one objective for each of the 5 goals. Our first goal, water supply and operations, we've chosen objective 1.2, which is to quantify the reservoir leakage and prepare for system-wide reservoir rehabilitation projects for 65 reservoirs. And we expect this to be a 10 to 15-year rehab program. This objective lays the groundwork needed for our reservoir rehab project, and you'll be seeing that next month, this project is going to be a major project in our decade plan and our capital budget. Goal 2, wastewater collection and operations. We have objective 2.8, which is to review our waste hauling oversight and pretreatment processes with our wastewater plant staff to identify improvements in the ability to limit and enforce prohibitive waste that is dumped at the septage receiving. And this review will include administrative and technical process reviews, as well as any changes that might be needed to the sewer use and wastewater control ordinance. And this objective is an example of where staff identified that there could be a possible gap with our current processes and procedures. So they identified this as something that they're going to take time and resources in FY27 to look to see if there's a gap and where the gap, if they identify a gap, how to close it and prevent anything further from happening in the future. Goal 3 is customer relations, and we have objective 3.3, which is to increase our Home Connect enrollment and enhance the digital customer experience by the end of the fourth quarter, using this platform to strengthen customer awareness of water conservation practices. And this program will allow customers to go online, and if they have an AMI meter, they'll be able to see on-time usage. They'll get alerts if their usage goes over a certain threshold. So if there's a leak, a customer can be notified right away, and they're not waiting a whole month till their bill comes, and then they're calling and they're like, I don't understand. So this is a really powerful tool. And this objective highlights like a new initiative that we're taking that we want to develop and provide resources to so that we can get this out to our customers and let them know it's there and how they can use it and get them using it. Goal 4, which is business planning and management. And we've chosen objective 4.6, which is to complete the update of our comprehensive asset management plan by the end of the fiscal year. And this objective is a scheduled update to the plan. And this is to help make sure that all the processes in the plan are up to date and that we take advantage of any new technologies that can enhance and help build our asset management program. And finally, we have goal number 5, which is organizational development. And the objective we've chosen is to deliver a tailored program of monthly safety trainings that address the unique operational risks, hazards, and OSHA regulatory requirements that are specified to each division. And this objective, illustrates an improvement to an existing program that we have. We have a very robust safety program, and this objective is to take us to the next level. So we provide a lot of training and a lot of classes to our employees, but this is going to take us to that next level and identify and specifically train for those jobs that have the high risks and they face the hazards in their daily work. And that is it for my presentation. And I stand for any questions, comments,
Thank you, Ms.
concerns.
Any questions? Okay. Oh, yes, Member Baldwin.
Thank you. Under Objective 3-2, it talks about reducing the percentage of delinquent water and wastewater accounts to below 10% over the next 2 years. What is the current rate of delinquency?
Our rate is hovering just a little above or under 11%.
Oh, okay.
So
The delta's not that big.
No.
Thank you.
But it's hovered there for quite a few years, so we figured it was time to really start to try to tackle that and get it down.
And do you aggregate the delinquency, or do you, have you identified if it's, commercial, residential, industrial?
It's a combination. We aggregate it, okay. So it's a little bit of everything. But we do know exactly which accounts and which class they roll into. So,
okay. Thank you.
I think the majority is unfortunately the residential. So,
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Ms. Lander, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. I neglected, I'm going to take a step back. I passed by item number 6, which is simply the announcement of our next scheduled meeting, which will be April 22nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. in these chambers. Thank you. So I'll move on to 7B, R26-11, approving an intergovernmental agreement between Bernalillo County and the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority for the Carnuel, New Mexico sewer collection system. Martha Ortiz.
Good evening, Madam Chair and respective board members. My name is Marta Ortiz. I'm the Chief Finance Officer here at the Water Authority. Resolution 2611 introduces an intergovernmental agreement with Bernalillo County to fund the design of a sewer system in Carnuel. The county will contribute up to $300,000, serving as a local match to the Congressional Direct Spending Award that we recently received back in October. Standard reporting and audit requirements are to be applied to the executive director to authorize and manage the agreement. And again, this is an introduction and it will be presented at the next meeting. And I stand for questions.
Any questions? Commissioner Rodriguez?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just to say, this $300,000 is the $300,000 that we authorized from district-directed funding from the county.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Very good. Thank you.
Mhm.
I make a motion for approval. Or there is no motion.
No, not yet. Next.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, great. There are no items on the consent agenda this evening, so we move on to approvals. And these will need a motion and a second and vote on each one of these. So 9A is R26-6, authorizing the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to apply for the Small Surface Water and Groundwater Storage Project Grant, financial assistance for the Arroyo del Oso Aquifer Storage and Recovery Project. Ms. Agnew?
Madam Chair, members of the board, I am presenting, requesting approval for us to apply for funding from Reclamation, their small storage program, to construct ASR4, our new ASR project at the Arroyo del Oso Golf Course. That project is currently in design, and so this funding source would be utilized to go straight from design to construction. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
I move approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
I moved and seconded. Questions, discussion? Yes, Ms. Baldwin.
So how much will this increase our capacity to store within the ASR system that the Water Authority has? And are there plans for additional ASRs coming online?
Madam Chair, Trustee Baldwin, yes. So this is actually one of 3 new wells that we're in the process of designing. And when this well's built along with the other 2, we will have a total of 4 ASR direct injection recovery wells in our system. This well in itself will allow us to increase our total volume of recharge to almost 2,000 acre-feet per year, which is a pretty substantial step towards our overall goal.
Thank you.
Seeing no other questions, all those in favor? Aye?
Right, yes.
And that passes. Thank you. 9B, R26-7, authorizing the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to apply for the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration Aquifer Storage and Recovery Project. Ms. Ortiz.
Thank you, Madam Chair and respective board members. This resolution seeks approval from the board to apply for matching funds for the grant that Diane just described. We're applying to seek about $1.25 million in match funds from the Department of Finance and Administration to match the $5 million grant that Diane was just alluding to. So I stand for questions.
Any questions? Move approval. Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. Item 9C, R26-8, authorizing the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to submit congressionally directed spending grant requests to the 118th Congress of the United States. Luz Carrion.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This resolution is to allow the Water Authority to submit a funding request to the 118th Congressional Direct Spending, or Congress for the United States, in order to apply for the Congressional Direct Spending. Right now, there's 4 representatives, 2 representatives and 2 senators that we are seeking applications from. And those projects consist of Carnwell Water and Wastewater, the sediment study for potential priority removal in the Rio Chama watershed, the Bosque Plant Classroom Education Project, and the South Valley Water and Wastewater Project. So I stand for any questions.
Any questions? Move approval. Second? Second. By Vice Chair. All those in favor? Aye. Good work, thank you. And item D, 9D is R26-9, authorizing the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to apply for the match funds from New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration for a congressional direct spending grant request to Congress.
So Madam Chair, members of the board, this resolution is allowing the Water Authority to seek match funding through the New Mexico Department of Finance Infrastructure Planning and Development Division. The match that we are required, if awarded, the congressional direct spending is between 25 to 30%. Once we are awarded, then the fiscal impact will be determined on how much we will be seeking.
I move approval. A second? Second, Vice Chair. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye?
Yes.
Thank you. Other business, we have item 10A OB 26-5, legislative updates. Ms. Schultz. Welcome.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Marla Schultz, registered lobbyist for the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to recap the 2026 legislative session relative to water policy and funding. The 2026 New Mexico legislative session completed its 30-day session on February 19th, which wrapped up Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's final regular session. The budget passed at $11.1 billion. Notable in the budget relative to water supply includes, but not limited to, the following highlights: $100 million to the Water Trust Fund for long-term projects, $53 million to the Office of the State Engineer for operations, $13 million for the Strategic Water Reserve to buy or lease rights for river restoration and compliance, $11.5 million for aquifer mapping and groundwater monitoring at New Mexico Tech, $10 million for the general fund to the Water Quality Management Fund, specifically for the River Stewardship Program, $22.5 million to cover the Rio Grande Compact duties with Texas, and $15 million to support Indian water rights settlements. Key water-related bills signed into law were mostly focused on funding mechanisms and streamlining the funding process and also enforcement. The legislation that we were engaged with throughout the session started with House Bill 63, which is the New Mexico Finance Authority Water Project Fund, which authorized, along with, I think, 130 other projects, but authorized the Water Utility Authority for a water conservation, treatment, recycling or reuse project, and water storage, conveyance, and delivery project. House Bill 64, the Public Project Revolving Fund, is $6,250,000 to the Drinking Water State Revolving Loan Fund for expenditure in fiscal year 2027 and subsequent fiscal years to provide state matching funds for Federal Safe Drinking Water Act of 1974 projects and to carry out the purposes of the Drinking Water State Revolving Loan Fund. House Bill 108 was the Watershed District taxes, which required a soil and water conservation district to levy a property tax assessment at the request of a watershed district within its boundaries, subject to existing statutory rate limitations and approval requirements. The crux of this legislation is that it clarifies the Board of Supervisors of the Soil and Water Conservation District is responsible for approving watershed districts' budgets, levying assessments, and authorizing expenditures of assessment revenues. House Bill 109, the Water Project Finance Act, was setting new priority rules for loans and grants within NMFA, which would streamline a criteria established based on urgency, i.e. disasters, health risks, which would speed up storage, conveyance, and conservation projects through 2028. House Bill 111, the water law violation maximum penalty, increased fines from an antiquated $100 a day to $3,500 a day, plus add-ons for illegal pumping or sales. This legislation had strong bipartisan backing to give the state engineer real deterrence for theft. House Bill 247, capital outlay changes. This doesn't necessarily impact the Water Authority as much, but at one point, there was some legislation in here that was going to really limit the use or the ability to seek funding from the state legislature for certain water projects. That was where they were heading down the road, but that language got amended out because I think the legislature understood that any money that is appropriated by the legislature is significant seed money, as we've seen for capturing congressional directed spending, grants through NMED, et cetera. So that legislation is, the changes on that, again, not affecting us too much, but it reforms New Mexico's process for funding long-term infrastructure projects by limiting reauthorizations. That does matter. You can no longer reauthorize over and over again. It's a 2-year extension, only if at least 10% of the funds are encumbered, and requiring appropriations over $100,000 to go through the ICIP, which is our standard procedure anyway. So that wasn't too impactful for us, but there is a whole push now for counties and municipalities to spend their capital outlay. There has been a lot of projects that have just sat, waiting to be encumbered, and so that's a desire for them to try to incentivize cities and counties to move more aggressively. Senate Bill 240 was the capital outlay projects bill. We received a total of $2,105,000. The breakdown for those projects are the Bosque non-potable water reuse treatment plant received $530,000. Carnwell Water Systems received $325,000. South Valley Water and Wastewater Project received $1,125,000. Tijeras Reuse Reservoir and Pump Station received $25,000, and the Aquifer Storage Facility received $100,000. As of today, Legislative Council Service has not released the names of which legislators appropriated funds to which of our projects. I will update the director and the board when those names are released, and we will extend our thank yous and continue our outreach to our legislative delegation. As you're aware, the Legislative Interim Committee process will officially begin mid-April and extends until November through December. From May till October, the legislators, close to 20 interim committees, travel throughout the state developing their agendas for the 2027 legislative session. We attend as many interim committees as possible in each month to understand policy issues being developed and working our rapport with the legislators year-round. We have spent many hours with our legislative delegation emphasizing that their contributions are critical seed money for securing additional grants and federal funding, emphasizing always that this allows the Water Utility Authority to keep their rates reasonable while providing and enhancing our treatment facilities to conserve, preserve, and reuse water. Thank you. I'll stand for questions.
Any questions from Ms. Schultz? Thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We will move on to 10B, OB 26-2, Water Authority Education Overview and Update. Mr. Jeff Tuttle. And as you're coming down, I want to thank you for being deferred from the last meeting and coming back to us, because this is a very important report as far as I'm concerned. So,
well, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board, for your work and allowing me the privilege to present. It's nice to see all of you. Let's see. So I started in July of 23, and I came to this body a couple of years ago, and with some of the changes we were working on, and this is to update that. We are, and also a review, I should say. So new folks can see what we've been doing and supporting. We do puppet shows pre-K through third. This year's puppet show is Turtles from Outer Space. And it's one of the few opportunities young folks at our schools get to see live puppet shows, and it's well received all around. It's very energetic. We do hands-on experiments and presentations for 1st through 3rd and 5th through 12th grade, and those are based on the Project WET curriculum, which is a national water curriculum. We go in and do a lot of materials and things. We've established a good base of schools that ask us back year after year, and we've been in high demand this year. The flagship program is the bringing the area 4th graders to the river. It fits in with APS's 3rd and 5th grade outdoor field experiences and into their lessons about the ecosystem. We pay for the buses and we provide the instructors for the day, but also we provide chaperones when needed. Sometimes schools, parents at schools can't get off for the day, so we have people in different departments who have helped out with that. It's a very nice thing to help schools with. We found about a quarter of the students that we take didn't know the Rio Grande was part of the city, and they've heard of it and knew it was part of the state, but about half have never been to the river itself. So it's a very vital program. We do reclamation tours pre-K through 3rd, and this year, by way of updating, we've added a new clay animation tour. It's a great walk through the reclamation yard. If you guys have some spare time, you're welcome to look at that. Last year, we added a preparatory visit before the field trip and a book we left behind with each classroom to really double the impact of the field trip itself, to leave some artifacts in the classroom for students to remember their experience by, including the book and a little poster of the Bosque. This year we revised the book, and through a grant with Intel in collaboration with the Bosque School, each 4th grader is now getting the book with enough for the next 2 to 3 years. So we've got quite a storehouse of books, and it's a very nice book. The collaborative work with the Bosque School has also led to other developing work. We're working on planning a classroom building in partnership with Bosque School. The building will provide a permanent home for our flagship program, as well as West Side outfall tours and an opportunity to be a hub for other conversations and presentations around water and the environment. It'll be nice for our curriculum of place to have a place. We currently operate out at the Botanic Gardens and the Rio Grande Nature Center, and both of those facilities are in high demand. So it'll be nice to, if we can pull that off, it'd be good. Next week, we are going to have a share fair for water environmental education folks along the Bosque to talk to each other, to kind of get a scope and sequence of all of the different environmental and water utility programs that are up and down the Rio Grande, and just kind of talk to each other, which I think will be a first. It's mentioned in the governor's 50-year plan to start kind of this collaboration, and I think it fits in nicely. We've notified some people in the state and up and down the Rio Grande. We're hoping to have some people from Las Cruces and maybe Santa Fe. Looking forward to learning what we're doing. This summer, we have started a citywide scavenger hunt promoting community and sustainability called the Rio Rally, June 20th to July 12th. You earn points for walking, riding, taking a bus, using a reusable water bottle. Participants are the city libraries, the museums, the Wheels Museum, Explora, the New Mexico Natural History Museum, the Atomic Museum, which is not on this, the zoo, the aquarium, and the Botanic Garden. It's just a way to start connecting some of the hidden pieces of the Water Authority and other parts of our community together. One of the stickers you can collect at the aquarium is Sylvia the silvery minnow. to kind of highlight the fact that the Water Authority has a refugium back there, and so people can know that we are part of the saving the endangered species of the silvery minnow. And I actually had some stickers on my desk I was going to hand out to you all, but I forgot. I'll give it to you next time. We're trying to develop the Bear Canyon tour, a non-technical tour for people. We've had interest, and we're working with the police station there for use of their restrooms and other just community connection, and also a surface water plant tour, a non-technical surface water plant tour. We tried it out this year with Mission Elementary, which is right next door to the surface water plant. They've been very cooperative with the Water Authority in terms of traffic and stuff that we've had to work out with them. And it was a good kind of trial run. Oops, I'm getting ahead of myself. I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Tuttle? I just want to thank you and say how, the reason I feel that this is so important, we need to educate the next generation about the importance of our water in the arid desert Southwest, and we're going to hear the water report next. And this is one of those kinds of things that we need to educate people of all ages, and I know that you're hitting that fourth grade group that bring them down to the river, and that just amazes me that only half of them know that the Rio Grande runs through our city. So bravo, thank you for your work.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for the privilege of this position and the opportunity to be here.
Great, thank you. Oh, sorry. Move on to, let's see, 10C, OB 26-6, the Water Report and Conservation Outreach, Mark Kelly and Amos Arbor.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. This month for the water report, we're going to kind of talk about our indicators first, and then Amos is going to get into discussing some of the things that we're working on in terms of conservation outreach. So when we look at our supply metrics snapshot, the drought severity and coverage index is at 277 for Bernalillo County, and that is underneath our first drought stage indicator of 300. In terms of our other indicators, our groundwater pumping versus goal is at 110% for the rolling calendar year, which is under our threshold of 120%. And then our GPCD for the rolling calendar year is currently at 124, which is below our goal this year of 131. In February, we were serving our customers 78% surface water and 22% groundwater. Last month, we looked at the snowpack levels, which were not good at that time, and they continue to not be good again, where the snow water equivalent in the upper San Juan region, where our San Juan Chama water comes from, is looking the worst that it's been measured. So we're anticipating another year similar to last year of a low yield for the San Juan Chama water. So now Amos Arbor, our conservation program manager, is going to talk a little bit about some of the things that his staff and himself is working on in terms of outreach for this spring.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Tonight I'll be sharing the outreach efforts that our small water conservation team is planning to conduct this year, which is of course one part of a broader set of services that the Water Conservation Program delivers. I want to note that the outreach I'll be describing tonight is separate from the work of the Public Communications Manager, who focuses on advertising campaigns and media buys, among other things. For spring advertising, I've asked Public Communications to emphasize 3 key conservation programs: reporting water waste, smart controller rebates and resources, and our lawn to desert-friendly xeriscape conversion program. So with that framing, I'll jump into how the water conservation program approaches outreach. Our outreach strategy is designed to do 3 things: educate customers, enable action, and reinforce efficient water use. At a high level, our work falls into 3 categories. First, education and awareness, things like tools, resources, and training. Second, incentives and support, rebates, consultations, and technical assistance. And third, reinforcement, data-driven targeting, pricing, and policy signals. Next, I'll talk about the core education platform that supports much of this work. Our core, always-on education platform is 505outside.com and the associated newsletter. This is our primary public-facing education engine. This website launched in fall of 2018 and has been extremely popular with customers. Since launch, we've added a large amount of content, expert articles, irrigation resources, and plant profiles. And at this point, improving navigation and search has become critical. We're currently working on a major website refresh. Some of the key changes include refreshing the homepage with new photos, improving navigation, and adding easy access icons for high demand actions like reporting water waste and accessing our xeriscape and irrigation guides. We're also adding seasonal messages, a pop-up feature for newsletter signups, and a chatbot. Overall, the refresh will add more than 20 new pages, and we're targeting a late spring launch. The associated newsletter is also very popular, and we continue to receive positive feedback. We currently have about 130,000 subscribers with a 45% open rate, which is very high for this type of media. And this year, we're focusing article content on how conservation program resources can help customers save both water and money, especially through simple DIY yard projects. One simple do-it-yourself project with a high return is installing a smart irrigation controller. Last fall, we completed an analysis of our smart controller pilot program and rebate participants. The study results showed significant benefits, particularly for high water users. On average, participants saved more than 50,000 gallons annually. 80% showed improved fall irrigation ramp down behavior, and the top 100 users in the rebate study group saved an average of $630 per year on water bills. One important takeaway was that out of the groups analyzed, the pilot group saw the strongest savings, likely because of the hands-on guidance and direct assistance we provided. In response, we've created educational materials that support both purchasing and setup. The goal is for these resources to serve as a surrogate for that hands-on support so we can scale the benefits of smart controllers. Next, I'll talk about how we're using customer data to target outreach where the savings potential is highest. Outdoor water use varies widely, so targeted outreach helps us focus resources where the potential savings are greatest. Our foundation is the top 5% residential water use letters, but we're expanding beyond that to be more nuanced, pattern-based outreach. The new version of the top 5% letters will include information such as current monthly use, water use from last month, water use from the same month last year, and the average usage for the customer's zip code. Another notable change is that we plan to begin working with the bill sending vendor for the Water Authority to significantly expand this effort compared to last year, where we printed, folded, and mailed over 10,000 letters using our department's standard office equipment. The ability to use an outside contractor will allow us to massively expand the number of letters we can send, reduce in-house staff time spent, and ensure that PDF versions of the letters are uploaded to the customer care and billing application. As this frees up staff time, we'll begin developing a series of new letters tailored to specific behaviors and landscape types. For example, if the meter indicates irrigation 7 days a week, the letter might recommend a smart controller or free irrigation consultation. Another effort that has proven successful and we plan to expand is the water use dashboard that will be used by the water use efficiency specialist. The dashboard allows staff to quickly sort accounts, check into individual sites, and review hourly usage data before contacting customers showing excessive usage. Another key part of our strategy is working with trade allies and multipliers. Contractors, suppliers, and property managers influence many landscapes and many customers. Training and consistent materials help normalize efficient irrigation and landscape practices across the community. This includes landscape supply outreach with both retail and wholesale partners, our Water Smart contractor training program, educational sessions with landscape companies, and training for property management companies. The goal is that when customers seek advice, whether from a contractor, a supplier, or a property manager, they hear consistent, water-efficient guidance that aligns with our programs. Next, I'll talk about in-person and demonstration outreach. In-person outreach helps make conservation visible and tangible. Seeing real examples reduces uncertainty and builds confidence, and in-person engagement allows us to reach customers who may not actively seek out online resources. This includes targeted tabling events and new demonstration garden signage that will support self-guided educational tours in front of our customer service building. This year, we're also expanding and being more strategic about tabling events, focusing on those with high community visibility, including neighborhood association meetings and partner agency events. Partnerships help us avoid duplication and extend outreach beyond our direct channels. We coordinate closely with the City of Albuquerque Parks Department and Energy and Sustainability Office, collaborate with the Bernalillo County Water Conservation Program, and working on partnering with the New Mexico Backyard Refuge Program. These partnerships allow for shared demonstration projects and co-branded materials which increase credibility and participation. This work is ongoing through regular coordination meetings, and we are continuing to explore joint outreach and pilot opportunities. Next, I'll talk about how we reinforce conservation behaviors. Education is most effective when it's paired with clear signals and accessible support. Reinforcement includes policy and price signals such as irrigation account surcharges, along with long-standing customer support options that we continue to promote, including hotlines, Ask an Expert services, and free consultations. Our outreach emphasizes clear next steps. The goal is not just compliance, but helping customers understand what to do next and how to get support. To summarize, our outreach strategy is designed to educate customers, enable action, and reinforce efficient water use. We use a mix of digital tools, targeted outreach, in-person engagement, and partnerships to reach different audiences. Across these efforts, we balance education and awareness with incentives and support, and we reinforce behavior change through data-driven targeting and pricing or policy signals. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Arbor or Mr. Kelly? No? Thank you both very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.